CMPD looking for whoever stole luxury cars off a dealership lot in East Charlotte. Police say it happened last week at Adams Auto Group on Independence Boulevard. Surveillance cameras caught the suspect smashing through the front door. Police report shows the people stole 3 vehicles worth a combined $200,000.
Car owners, you need to be aware. There is a new trick that is spreading fast among car thieves. Imagine parking your beloved ride, feeling secure and confident, only to find out that there's a sneaky strategy out there, one that could put your vehicle at serious risk. It's not just an isolated incident. This dangerous trend is spreading like wildfire. Even the law enforcement is having trouble getting a hold of this thing. So let's get into the details. What's happening? See, the surge in car thefts fueled by key fob programming technology is more than just a nuisance. It's a full-blown crisis for vehicle owners and law enforcement alike. Thieves today are getting slicker and more sophisticated, employing advanced methods that take advantage of the vulnerabilities in keyless entry systems. Forget the age-old tactics of picking locks or breaking windows. These crooks are bypassing traditional break-in methods altogether, making it astonishingly easy to swipe cars without raising alarms. Let's talk about key fob programming tools. These little gadgets are game changers for criminals, designed to clone or reprogram the necessary key fobs that modern vehicles rely on to start and unlock. These tools pose a serious threat. The most concerning part, they can be easily bought online for prices that range from $60 to $600. This price range makes them accessible to just about anyone, including those with nefarious intentions. It's a scary thought, isn't it? The very tools that should have been reserved for professionals are now in the hands of criminals. There are reported notable incidents that illustrate the alarming trend of car thefts facilitated by key fob programming technology. Stolen Hyundai in Maryland. Just this week in Maryland, police turned the tables on a notorious group of thieves, and it wasn't just your run-of-the-mill heist. This gang was using a key fob programming device to swipe Hyundai vehicles right out of their owners' driveways. How did they pull off such a brazen crime? By zeroing in on parked cars in quiet residential neighborhoods, they thought they were invincible, but the law caught up with them after a string of thefts. And trust me, it's a wild story. When the officers finally apprehended these suspects, they discovered a shocking truth. These thieves weren't just breaking windows or picking locks. Instead, they were armed with a key programmer. They were able to clone duplicate keys for the vehicles they targeted. Imagine that. No physical break-in necessary. With a simple click, they could unlock and start these cars, making off with them in no time flat. The ease with which they executed these crimes unmasked a glaring weakness in the security of cars equipped with keyless entry systems. The aftermath was eye-opening. Law enforcement officials managed to recover several stolen Hyundais, shedding light on the urgent need for all vehicle owners to approach their car security with a new level of vigilance. The unsettled case in Fairfax, Virginia. In one case reported in Virginia, law enforcement officers managed to apprehend 2 suspects who were caught red-handed, armed with a key programming device. What makes their capture particularly jaw-dropping is that these individuals had successfully reprogrammed key fobs meant for a stolen Dodge Charger. This scenario raises a crucial question. How swiftly and skillfully are thieves adapting to new technology in their quest for crime? When we look closer, it becomes clear just how rapidly these criminals are capable of exploiting tech innovations to gain unauthorized access to vehicles. It's as though they've rewritten the playbook on car theft. With the right tools at their disposal, these thieves can turn an unsuspecting parked vehicle into their personal getaway machine in no time flat. Imagine this. In mere moments, they transform a shiny new car sitting innocently in a driveway into a vessel of escape without ever shattering a window or applying brute force. This ability to seamlessly manipulate keyless entry systems underscores a startling reality about vehicle security today. It's no longer sufficient to rely on traditional locks and physical barriers to protect your property. The technology designed to enhance convenience, like key fobs, is being weaponized against us. Each day, car owners are left vulnerable as these sophisticated criminals leverage electronic tools to bypass our defenses. The car theft scandal in California. Similarly, California police have managed to dismantle a sophisticated car theft ring, one that was particularly focused on stealing luxury vehicles. And it's more alarming than you might think. These thieves were no ordinary crooks. They were using advanced key fob programming tools that allowed them to bypass the security systems of high-end models, including sought-after brands like BMW and Mercedes-Benz. It's a scenario that can make any car owner shiver. Just how did they pull this off? Investigators unveiled that this notorious group had been in operation operation for several months, cleverly executing their plans using high-tech methods such as relay attacks and OBD port hacking. Relay attacks? That sounds like something out of a spy movie, doesn't it? Essentially, criminals use this technique to amplify signals from a key fob inside a home, allowing them to unlock and start a car parked nearby. Then there's OBD port hacking, which targets the onboard diagnostics port of vehicles, enabling the reprogramming of key fobs and granting thieves access to the vehicles. They didn't just limit themselves to private car owners, they also infiltrated dealerships, making their operation quite widespread and audacious. As the police swooped in on the scene during the bust, the extent of the operation became horrifyingly clear. Law enforcement seized several key programming devices, tools that had empowered these thieves to execute their crimes, along with multiple stolen vehicles. And we're not talking about chump change here. The total value of the recovered cars exceeded $1 million. Yes, you heard that right. This isn't a petty theft ring. This is organized crime at its most brazen. But how is this all happening? How are they doing it? Let me break it down to you. Relay attacks. Relay attacks have emerged as one of the most sophisticated and alarming methods employed by car thieves today. These cunning criminals have figured out how to intercept and amplify the signal from a key fob, and remarkably, they can do this even when the key fob is safely tucked away inside a home. Imagine this: you're lounging on your couch, blissfully unaware, while the thieves are operating just outside your front door, poised to snag your vehicle. How do they manage this? Using specialized devices that are often deceptively simple in design, these thieves capture the signal emitted by your key fob. It's almost like a scene from a high-stakes spy movie. Once they've intercepted that signal, they then relay it to another device positioned close to your vehicle. This crafty maneuver tricks the car into believing that the actual key is right there, in close proximity. It's a shocking breach of technology that undermines the very security measures we think are keeping our vehicles safe. With no need for physical access to the key itself, the criminals pull off what seems like a magic trick. They can unlock and start your car without so much as touching the actual key fob. It's terrifying when you realize how vulnerable this leaves car owners. What's even more unsettling is that these thieves can strike quickly and quietly, often in mere seconds, leaving homeowners stunned and in disbelief when they discover their vehicle is gone. The implications of such tactics are far-reaching. This modern-day burglary doesn't just alter the landscape of car theft, it also transforms how we need to think about vehicle security. Relying solely on traditional locking mechanisms is no longer sufficient. The stakes are higher than ever, and vehicle owners must adapt to stay one step ahead of these technologically savvy criminals. While relay attacks allow criminals to intercept and amplify signals from key fobs to gain immediate access to vehicles, CAN bus attacks take this a step further. Controller Area Network Bus Attack. Let's talk about another chilling method that car thieves are using to turn your vehicle into their next target with alarming ease. It revolves around a piece of technology you might not even think twice about: the Controller Area Network Bus System. This intricate network is essential for communication within the vehicle, connecting various electronic systems that control everything from the engine to the brakes. But for thieves, it offers a shimmering opportunity, a way to exploit its vulnerabilities. In this crafty game of cat and mouse, these criminals have found a way to connect their own device directly to the Controller Area Network bus via the onboard diagnostics port. You know that little port where mechanics plug in their diagnostic tools to assess your vehicle's health? Well, these thieves have mastered accessing this gateway, enabling them to communicate directly with the car's various electronic systems. In this digital age, the onboard diagnostics port is a goldmine for those with bad intentions, acting as an entry point right into your car's brain. Once they make that connection, the magic, or rather the mischief, begins. With just a few clicks, they can delete existing keys or rapidly program new ones in a matter of seconds. Yes, you read that right, seconds. Imagine sitting at home, blissfully unaware, while a thief tap dances through the digital locks of your car, effectively bypassing every traditional security measure you thought was keeping your vehicle safe. It's a high-stakes race, and the criminals are winning. What's particularly alarming about this technique is how it strips away the illusion of safety that many vehicle owners cling to. We often think that having a modern car with state-of-the-art security systems protects us from theft, but what we're failing to realize is that these systems are often more susceptible than we imagined. Traditional locks and alarms are no match for tech-savvy burglars who know how to outsmart them using the very technology designed to make our lives easier. Last but not least, jamming devices. One of the more insidious tactics employed by thieves is the use of jamming devices. Imagine this unsettling scenario. You're parked and ready to head into a store, your keys in hand. You click the button on your key fob to lock the doors, expecting that satisfying beep and the reassuring sound of the locks clicking into place. But hold on a second, what if nothing happens? The car remains unlocked, standing open and vulnerable to anyone who happens to walk by. This nightmare isn't some far-fetched idea, it's precisely what jamming devices are designed to do. These jamming devices operate by emitting signals that disrupt the communication between your key fob and your vehicle. Essentially, they create a barrier, blocking the signal entirely. When you press that button, your key fob sends a radio signal to your car, letting it know you're locking the doors. But with a jamming device in play, that signal never makes it to the vehicle, leaving it defenseless. Thieves can watch and wait, knowing that the car is wide open and ripe for the picking. What's even more alarming is that criminals don't typically rely on this method alone. No, they often use jamming devices in conjunction with other sneaky techniques to maximize their chances of success. For instance, they may combine the jamming technique with relay attacks or other high-tech methods that exploit security weaknesses in modern vehicles. This multifaceted approach makes them significantly harder to detect and even more dangerous. As technology evolves, so too do the methods used by car thieves. It's not just about physical locks anymore, it's about the invisible lines of communication that we often take for granted. The convenience of keyless entry, which many of us cherish, is also a double-edged sword. While it offers ease of access to vehicle owners, it simultaneously presents opportunities for tech-savvy thieves to exploit weaknesses in these systems. As vehicle theft continues to rise, especially with the alarming advancements in key fob technology that criminals are exploiting, governments are stepping up to tackle this pressing issue. The range of policies and initiatives being introduced is aimed squarely at curbing this growing trend. It's officially a battle cry against these tech-savvy thieves, focusing not just on prevention but also on recovery. What exactly are the strategies being rolled out in response to this crisis? Let's dissect it together. Law enforcement. One of the most pivotal moves governments are making is increasing funding for local law enforcement agencies. This is not just a matter of throwing money at the problem, it's about enhancing the capabilities of these agencies to combat vehicle theft with precision and effectiveness. Law enforcement is often on the front lines, dealing directly with crime as it happens, so empowering them is crucial. With more financial resources at their disposal, local police can invest in advanced tracking technologies that are specifically designed to monitor stolen vehicles. Imagine a scenario where a car is stolen and the police have access to cutting-edge technology that can pinpoint its location almost in real time. This not only boosts the chances of recovering stolen vehicles, but also acts as a powerful deterrent against would-be thieves who know they're being watched. In addition to tracking technology, increased funding allows law enforcement agencies to improve their overall response times. Quick action is essential in preventing the loss of vehicles. The faster they can react, the better the chances of catching the criminals in the act or recovering stolen cars before they're whisked away. This means hiring more officers, providing them with better training, and equipping them with the tools they need to investigate and solve vehicle thefts effectively. But it doesn't stop there. Governments are also nurturing partnerships with technology companies and automotive manufacturers to bolster security measures. This collaborative approach is vital as it encourages the integration of advanced anti-theft systems directly into vehicles at the manufacturing level. For example, some manufacturers are now considering enhanced security features that would make it significantly harder for thieves to bypass existing locks and access points. Legislative measures. The growing severity of this issue has prompted lawmakers to take action, pushing for stricter laws that specifically target the possession of crucial tools involved in these crimes, including key fob programming devices and other instruments frequently used by thieves. Why is this so important? Because these tools are the very things that enable criminals to bypass security systems that many vehicle owners believe are foolproof. By tightening regulations surrounding these devices, lawmakers aim to create a significant roadblock for would-be thieves, sending a clear message that society will not tolerate their illicit actions. It's a proactive approach to curtail the growing trend of auto theft that's increasingly being fueled by tech-savvy criminals. But legislation alone isn't enough to tackle this multifaceted issue. Enter the vital role of data collection and analysis, a strategy that law enforcement agencies and even manufacturers are prioritizing. Efforts are underway to collect more comprehensive data on vehicle theft incidents, focusing on how vehicles are stolen and what specific specific techniques are employed. Whether it's through sophisticated relay attacks or crafty OBD port hacking, understanding the methods criminals use gives law enforcement the tools they need to develop targeted strategies that can effectively combat these problems head-on. Imagine law enforcement officers sitting down with analyzed data at their fingertips, identifying patterns, recognizing which neighborhoods are most at risk, and perhaps even predicting when and where future thefts might occur. This level of insight can empower them to act more efficiently and effectively, making the streets safer for everyone. Work on the community? Now, let's talk about community engagement initiatives. It's not just about what the government or the police can do, it's about rallying communities to take a stand against crime. Programs are being promoted that actively involve neighborhoods in crime prevention efforts, such as neighborhood watch schemes that encourage residents to keep an eye on suspicious activities. But that's not all. Law enforcement is forming partnerships with local organizations to raise awareness about vehicle security, helping people implement practical steps to safeguard their property. Why does this matter? Because community involvement can make a real difference. When neighbors look out for each other, it fosters a sense of security and vigilance that can deter criminals from even attempting to target those areas. Or think of it this way, if every community had a strong network of people watching all the time, it would be far less appealing for thieves to try their luck. They know they're being watched. So as states strengthen laws, bolster data collection, and promote community engagement, the collective impact has the potential to change the landscape of auto theft prevention dramatically. This multifaceted approach underscores an important truth. Protecting our vehicles is a shared responsibility. With laws tightening and communities coming together, we have a fighting chance against the rising tide of vehicle theft. The question now is, are we ready to take this challenge head on and secure what's rightfully ours? The answer lies not just with the authorities, but within our own neighborhoods as we unite to safeguard our lives and our property. Strategies against key fob theft. In this escalating battle against car theft, awareness is your first line of defense. It's time to reconsider how we think about vehicle security and explore enhanced protective measures to counter these technological threats. Thieves are using key fob programming devices to outsmart conventional protection methods, which raises the question, how can we adapt and stay one step ahead? The fight against car theft is far from over, and it demands careful consideration of both current technologies and potential countermeasures. With the stakes so high, we must ask ourselves, what can we do to keep ourselves safe? Key fob security. First and foremost, storing your key fobs securely can't be overstated. It's not just about where you keep them, it's about how you store them. Consider investing in a Faraday bag or box. These are more than just trendy accessories. They're essential tools designed to block the signals emitted by your key fob when it's not in use. By encasing your fob in these special pouches, you effectively create a fortress against signal interception, which is the crux of many modern car thefts. But don't stop there. Think carefully about the location of your key storage. Avoid leaving your keys near doors or windows where they become prime targets for thieves armed with relay devices. A thief with a relay amplifier can easily intercept the signal from your key fob and unlock your car from several feet away. The distance might astound you, but your key fob essentially becomes an open gate when it's sitting too close to an entry point. Instead, find a more secure location within your home, preferably somewhere that isn't easily accessible from outside. Now, let's ramp up your vehicle's physical security. One of the simplest yet most effective deterrents you can implement is a steering wheel lock. This isn't just a flashy accessory, it's a visible statement to potential thieves that your vehicle is not an easy target. When criminals see a steering wheel lock, they know that they face an immediate physical barrier, which can often be enough to dissuade them from taking the risk altogether. But we can take things a step further. Consider equipping your vehicle with additional layers of anti-theft devices. Think beyond traditional alarms. Look into GPS tracking systems that allow you to monitor your vehicle's location in real time. If your car is ever stolen, the ability to track it can lead to swift recovery. Immobilizers are another ingenious option. These devices require additional steps to start the vehicle, making it difficult for a thief merely to turn the ignition and drive off. When it comes to safeguarding your vehicle, every little decision counts, especially where you choose to park. If you have access, park in a garage. A garage isn't just a convenient spot to leave your car, it's a fortress that provides an extra layer of protection against thieves. If a garage isn't available, aim for well-lit areas. There's nothing more inviting for a thief than a dark, secluded spot where they can make their move unseen. Make it a point to park in well-lit spaces, not just as a courtesy for yourself, but as a powerful deterrent for potential potential criminals. Stay updated on technology. Now let's shift gears to another critical area, technology. Keeping your vehicle updated is just as essential as securing it physically. Regularly update your car's software to ensure you're armed with the latest security features and fixes for vulnerabilities that could be exploited. This isn't just a matter of convenience. It's about actively protecting yourself against the ever-evolving tactics of car thieves. Just like your smartphone or computer, your vehicle benefits from updates that patch security gaps and enhance functionality. Additionally, take the time to become familiar with your keyless entry system features. Some vehicles are equipped with options that allow owners to disable the keyless entry system when parked for extended periods. Consult your owner's manual to see if this feature exists in your car. Disabling the system not only minimizes the risk of relay attacks, but also provides peace of mind. When you buy a used vehicle, there's one crucial step you shouldn't overlook: reprogramming the key fobs. It might seem like a minor detail, but this simple act can save you from a world of potential trouble. Why is this so important? Because previous key fobs might still have the ability to unlock your vehicle, leaving you vulnerable to unauthorized access from anyone who might have a lingering copy. Reprogramming those key fobs ensures that any previous keys are rendered useless, creating a tighter security barrier between you and any potential thieves. It's your first line of defense in safeguarding your newly purchased investment. Be cautious with valuables. But securing your vehicle doesn't stop there. You need to adopt a cautious approach when it comes to what you leave inside. The rule of thumb: remove valuables from the vehicle whenever possible. Picture this: you park your car, walk away, and think everything is just fine. But a thief walks by and instantly spots your laptop or a purse resting on the seat. They see an opportunity that's too tempting to resist. Leaving valuables in plain sight is like holding up a neon sign that screams, "Steal me." You might as well be inviting trouble in. If you absolutely must leave items inside your car, don't just throw them anywhere. Instead, take the time to hide them in locked compartments. For example, store your belongings in a locked trunk or a glove compartment that can securely close. This simple act can throw a wrench in a thief's plans. Many thieves are looking for quick wins. They're searching for easy targets. A locked compartment can deter them, making the job seem less appealing if they have to put in extra effort to access your things. Consider this: when thieves see a vehicle that's clearly hiding its valuables, they're likely to move on to easier prey. You want to become the car they swiftly ignore because you've made your vehicle less attractive to them. Moreover, think about the emotional toll that comes with theft. Not just the financial loss, but the hassle and stress that follow. By taking precautionary measures now, you can significantly reduce the risk of falling victim to a crime that could have been easily avoided. In the grand scheme of vehicle security, every little decision counts. Reprogram those used key fobs, safeguard your belongings, and remember that thieves are always on the lookout for easy targets. Why leave an opportunity wide open when you can take a few simple steps to keep your car, along with all your valuables, safe and sound? Now we want to hear from you. What steps are you taking to protect your vehicle? Have you experienced any theft attempts? Drop in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.